can see you come to the right place. I'm the lost and found man here.
Yes, I lost Peter Tork.
Peter Tork was not involved in the recording of this album. His return to monkey business was 17 years away. However, the remaining Monkees found someone new to hang with.
What's up, Mike?
Oh, they're not anything up, Bug. There's nobody here but us monkeys.
The Monkees Present, Micky, David, and Michael, the second of two 1969 Monkee albums, was released in October. If Instant Replay was a grab bag, then this album was a hodgepodge, including newly recorded songs alongside ones that were recorded in 1968, and some dated all the way back to 1966. But we are here to shine the album spotlight on the Monkees Present, Micky, David, and Michael, the Monkees' 8th album release. So let's get started. Side 1, Track 1, Little Girl. This was written and produced by Micky Dolenz. It features Micky on lead vocals, his sister Coco on backing vocals. There are some tasty jazz-style licks from Louis Shelton. He's the guitarist who performed the great guitar leads on Last Train to Clarksville and Valerie. This lead-off track is less than 2 minutes long and seems like a fragment of a song. It's an odd choice to lead off an album. Track 2, Good Clean Fun, written and produced by Michael Nesmith. This song was from Nesmith's Nashville sessions from June of 1968. It was released in September of '69 as the album's lead single. It is a forerunner of country rock, as country rock was in its embryonic stage with the debut albums from Poco and the Flying Burritos still months away. This is the rare Monkees A-side to feature vocals from Michael Nesmith. With steel guitar, fiddle, and banjo, it doesn't sound like the Monkees. And evidently, the record company thought that that was a good thing because they placed an ad for the singles released in the trade magazine Cashbox, heralding the fact that Good Clean Fun doesn't sound like the Monkees. Ultimately, this excellent upbeat song reached just number 82 on the Billboard Charts. Track 3, If I Knew, which is a collaboration by Davy Jones with Bill Chadwick, who co-produced Davy's new tracks on this LP. This is a simple, moody song with contributions from Chadwick and members of the Wrecking Crew. Davy does a nice job on lead vocals. Davy did know how to play to his strengths on his self-productions. Next up is Bye Bye Baby Bye Bye, written by Micky Dolenz and Rick Klein and produced by Micky. Classic Wrecking Crew members James Burton, Louis Shelton, Joe Osborne, Hal Blaine. They elevate this nominal track to something interesting. The lyrics, however, sound like they were improvised at the time of recording. Micky, of course, sounds great. And Davy does add a backing vocal to this song, making it the only new song on this album to include more than one Monkee. You know, after listening to this album while I was preparing for this video, I found this song stuck in my head for a couple of days, whether I liked it or not. Track 5 on side 1 is Never Tell a Woman Yes, written and produced by Michael Nesmith. This ragtime sounding song seems almost like a novelty song in the context of this album. Mike was taking full advantage of his creative freedom in these last days of Monkee recording sessions. His large catalog of songs recorded in 1968-69, and most of them were left unreleased until the 1980s, but they show enormous creativity and imagination across many musical genres. He had so many superior unreleased songs sitting in the vault, songs like 9 Times Blue, the song that the trio performed live on the Johnny Cash show in July of '69. I wonder why this song made the cut for this album. Finishing off side 1 is Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart's Looking for the Good Times. This song is from their 1966 sessions from More the Monkees and was left in the vault. With an aggressive lead vocal from Davy, who stepped out of his comfort zone. And in some ways, I'm not convinced that Davy's voice is well suited for rock, but he does an effective job here, and this pop rocker should have left off the album. Boyce and Hart's stellar studio musicians appear, and Micky sings backing vocal on this. I think it's one of the standout tracks on this LP. Now let's turn the album over and take a look at side 2. Ladies' Aid Society is an example of how not to lead off a side of a 60s LP. Well, actually, an LP from any decade. This unfunny novelty song, written and produced by Boyce and Hart, again from 1966, is among my least favorite Monkee songs. Davy does what he can with it. Micky sings harmony. Backing vocalists extraordinaire Ron Hicklin, Rain Irwin, and Boyce and Hart perform the funny vocals in the chorus. Just a month before this album's release, the Monkees TV series began its Saturday morning broadcast, which might be the reason why they were hanging out with Bugs Bunny. 8 of the 12 songs from the Monkees Present were added to the re-edited Monkee reruns. Although the song was mixed in mono to be included in the Saturday morning reruns, fortunately, it was not used. Okay, next we have something special. Listen to the Band, another of Michael's Nashville jams. Listen to the Band made its debut in the April 14th, 1969 airing of 33 1/3 Revolutions per Monkey, that NBC TV special the Monkees did. The initial part of the performance featured Mike on guitar, Peter on organ, Micky on drums, and Davy shaking a mean tambourine. Even though Peter had left the group at the end of '68, this special did not air until April of '69. Although the stripped-down version of Listen to the Band was very far away from the sound of the release version, the song's excellence was apparent and proved to be a fitting choice for the four Monkees' last performance together for many, many years. Micky, David, and Michael performed Listen to the Band, along with Someday Man and an R&B soul version of I'm a Believer on the April 24th episode of Joey Bishop's late night show on ABC. Unfortunately, only poor quality home recordings survive of this appearance. 2 days after the Joey Bishop appearance, Someday Man, backed with Listen to the Band, was released as the Monkees' 10th single. Someday Man, that Paul Williams and Roger Nichols song with an outstanding Davy Jones vocal, was originally the A-side, but radio stations began playing the B-side, Listen to the Band, instead. Cold Jams eventually flipped the sides and began promoting Listen to the Band as the A-side. Someday Man only reached number 81 on the charts, while Listen to the Band did slightly better, peaking at 63. From first listen, Listen to the Band is special. It sounds like nothing else in the Monkees catalog, yet, because of Mike's vocal, it sounds very Monkees. It seemed like a culmination of all of Nesmith's work with the Monkees, while at the same time feeling fresh and inspired. Nashville's top country players added their country flair to this pop rock song, while acclaimed arranger Shorty Rogers wrote great horn parts. It was an innovative, trend-setting record. Next, we find another Jones-Chadwick production, French Song. Inspired by European film scores, Bill Chadwick composed this moody, atmospheric song featuring an interesting mix of percussion, vibes, and flute. This turns out to be a highlight on this album for me. Tim Weisberg is the flautist on this song, and Davy delivers an outstanding vocal. The song is featured in Lollipops and Roses, a 1971 Filipino film produced by and directed by Artemio Marquez. In this film, Davy sings the song to a teenage girl, but the odd staging makes the scene seem bizarre.
A little girl goes out walking once again.
Next is Micky Dolenz's magnus opus, Mommy and Daddy. Despite provocative and confrontational lyrics that touch on some controversial topics, this song found its way on the B-side of the Good Clean Fun single. It ended up reaching a number 109 on the Billboard Bubbling Under chart. It did, however, not make it into the Saturday morning reruns. Next, we have Mike's production of Oklahoma Backroom Dancer, written by Michael Martin Murphey, who co-wrote What Am I Doing Hanging Round. Solid performances by the Wrecking Crew highlight this rocking song. Although it's never been one of my favorites, it does have its moments. Finishing off the album is Pillow Time, a lullaby written by Micky's mom, Janelle Scott, and Matt Willis. Micky's production features the trio of Louis Shelton, Ray Pullman, and Earl Palmer. And they provide a jazzy lounge vibe with kind of a Santo and Johnny or Les Paul style guitar. It's an appropriate way to close out the album. Cold Gems Records already displayed doubts about the commercial viability of the Monkees by this point, having released a greatest hits album just 3 months after Instant Replay and only 4 months previous to the release of this album. In that era, greatest hits albums were usually just cash grabs intended to squeeze out the final profits from an artist with waning sales. Micky, Davy, and Mike did promote the greatest hits album in a 1969 appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. The greatest hits album reached number 89. But without a legitimate hit single, the Monkees Present managed to climb to only number 100 on the Billboard LP charts. Well, that wraps up my look at the Monkees Present Micky, David, and Michael. There is a link to my other monkey-related videos in the descriptions. Be sure to leave any comments you might have about this album or anything else Monkees. If there are other albums that you would like to see in the album spotlight, let me know in the comments and we'll see what we can do. But I want to thank you so much for watching. This has been Boss City Brian. And until next time, I'll be driving on a dark desert highway. Many blessings. Bye for now.